All right, so we're back in the Tesla, and I've got something I want to work on today, and it required a couple things. Number one, I got some pliers. I'll explain here in a minute. Don't worry, I'm not destroying the vehicle, but needed some pliers, so we'll get there. Second thing we got, this right here is a little USB hub, because we're going to replace, if you remember, the same way that we took out the USB drive so we could put the sound for I Have the Power into the car. We can actually make some changes to that spot to make it a little bit more user-friendly and a little bit easier to deal with, and also add some power. The other thing we got is this thing right here. I have it upside down because of how I'm going to route this, but this is a phone holder and a wireless charger here. You can already see I have the cable actually routed up this way. A lot of these units, you can get this online, this particular one. I'll leave a link for it in the description below. A lot of times you see them put them up top. I actually stuck it up top here to begin with, and it was pretty obtrusive. My phone was sitting about like this, and I didn't like it sitting there, whether it was horizontal or vertical. So I decided to move it down here, and I've liked this spot a lot, but I haven't put power on this yet. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, but you have the wireless charging pad right here. This is true, and I have been using this, but here's what I don't like about these wireless charging pads. My phone gets super hot when it's sitting flush on this. It's got kind of this felt material underneath that's nice and doesn't slide around, but it makes my phone really hot, and I don't like that when I go to pick up my phone, how hot it is. I put this silicone mat on it, hoping maybe it would disperse some of that heat, but it doesn't seem to be doing that. But I like these charging pads like this. The other thing is that it puts my phone in a place that's more easily accessible, even than it being up here. Down here, it's really easy without it having to be in my eye line, blocking my eye line. It's really easy to get to something there if I need to. So here's what we're gonna do though. So I've got the cable coming through the top, and I've actually got it going up and around the back on top here. And then you see the cable drop out right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this USB hub, and it's got spots on it. It's got 2 USB-A's as well as 2 USB-C's. So this cable for the charger has a USB-C on it, but also the jump drive that comes with the car is a USB-A. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the jump drive that's in the port in the car in the glove box. I'm going to plug in this hub, and then I'm going to plug my jump drive back in here, and I'm going to plug my charger in here. And as far as I believe, and as far as I've seen on other people's videos, that should work. It'll give me another port. I don't know why I would necessarily need other ports, but if I want the charging ports, that's really what I want to do with this. And doing it this way, rather than running it down into the center console, this will make it a little bit more clean of an install. You won't barely see this cable. It'll tuck right up in and go into the glove box. So let's get at it. Open glove box. All right, so let's get in here. So the reason I have the pliers is because that's kind of a small glove box. I'm not a small guy. My hands are kind of large. So when I got that out the first time, it was a little difficult to get to. And actually I had to get my son to put it back in there because he had smaller hands than I do. So I think the pliers, needle nose, will help me get to everything and be able to plug this unit back in here much easier. Obviously I want to be careful. I don't want to scratch up the jump drive or anything like that, but we're going to see if we can get to this. Nice and easy. So now this is going to go in here. And actually at some point in time, I am going to get a bigger jump drive. This one is only this is 128 gigs, so that's not bad. But when it's also saving all the information from Century mode, I might want something a little bit bigger there. So drive into there. And now let me get my other cable. It does have an adapter on it, this particular one that I got. I'll have the link in the description to this wireless charger. And it came with the cable and everything, and thankfully the cable is long enough to get in there. It does have an adapter if I needed to go A, but I can go direct C with this, so I'll just go ahead and plug this in. And now let's see if I can get this back in there with any level of ease. And I believe we're plugged in. Let's see. I think we're in there. So here's how we're going to check and make sure we're in here. We're going to go to the toy box, and we know we have that file on there. We're going to go back to Boombox. The lock sound says USB, which I believe is meaning that it's showing up and it's good. And it looks like I'm getting light around there. I'm recording on my phone right now, so I'll pull off my phone and test it here in a moment. But that means that all of this is working. So what I was able to do, I was able to take this cable from my charger here, run it up and around and over, and then it comes down into the glove box. So now I can just tuck this into the glove box and close that off. There should be enough space in there that it shouldn't wreck the cable and that once the magnet's closed. And also now it'll make it easier for me to be able to get to the jump drive if I want to replace the sound or anything like that. Now it's an easier, because it's connected to the hub rather than having to get all back in there, and I can just tuck the hub in and we're good to go. So quick little install to be able to make that more functional, more easily accessible, and make a nice clean install for my wireless charger for my phone.